anchored on our first spot for the day, and we always have a couple of divers that jump in right away and just have a look and see what they can see. We got Heather out there and Jason's over here, and it looks like these guys are on one already.
Oh my gosh, are you?
Short?
Uh-huh.
Alright, so she did grab one out of that hole real quick, but it's too short. I'm gonna have a look around the rest of it, but you can see this big light green area in this flat. So it's much deeper water right here. So they'll have a tendency to be around the edges. This thing will have kind of like little tuck unders in it and rocks and different structure. There, Jason's chasing one now, I think. Looks like you just chased one. Yep.
Got it?
Yeah.
Here.
He's got one on the net, but it looks a little short to me. So then they just check it for size while it's in the water still. Whoop, that one almost got away. Heather will use the gauge and hold it on its back to make sure that it's big enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Another short. Alright, so 2 in the net, 2 shorties. But they're here, so we just have to find where the rest of them are. And I can tell just by looking at some of the bottom here, now that the sun's getting higher, there's going to be some good structure on the backside of that dark area, just like we have here. And then there's some more back in this area here, and then further back.
Close?
You're on it.
You're right there.
Alright, we got both people deployed to either side with a hookah and then a support diver now, so we'll see if we can find something.
I think it's a little short. Woo. Same story.
Same story?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
16th of an inch.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Almost, Jason. Almost.
After grabbing enough lobster for dinner, we called it a day and headed back to the dock. With a sharp knife, Joey starts by cutting around both sides of the tail. He just slips the tip of the knife under the hard shell of the lobster and loosens the meat from both sides. Then he sets the knife aside, folds the tail under itself to protect his hand, and pulls it loose from the body. Using a portion of the lobster's antenna, he finishes by cleaning out the entrails. A little twist and a pull, and the entrails come right out. And the tails are cleaned and on ice, and we're gonna be doing a surf and turf for dinner tonight, and I'll make sure that I show you how we do the grilling of that so you can see that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the tools that you saw us using today. If you're new to this, the basic essentials would be a pair of gloves, a net, and what we call this here a tickle stick, and then the gauge to measure the lobster. Now this is actually a dual gauge, one for crab, stone crab, and one for the spiny lobster. You saw this is what Heather was working underneath the rocks and trying to tickle the lobster. I mean, not in the sense that they're ticklish like you're ticklish in the rib cage, but I don't know, maybe they are. But trying to get them positioned correctly and moved out from wherever they're trying to hide under. And then various flippers and masks, and then the hookah rig you would have saw us using, which I was going to show you a little bit more about that, but essentially it's dive tanks without tanks. It's just an air compressor that pumps air down through that hose system, and each diver has its own regulator for his mouth, and that's about it. I mean, there's a harness for your back that you can pull that hose along. You can get various lengths of hose, and then maybe short of getting a set of weights, so that you can spend more time on the bottom without having to work too hard, which I let that one of Heather run longer on that second lobster under that same rock, so you could fully appreciate how long she was down there. I actually even edited it a little bit in the beginning because the footage wasn't very good. They just get buried in there and they'll want to stay, and there was two under the same spot, and she was down for a while. You'd have to come up and go down a lot to do that, so that really just it makes it just so much easier to spend time on the bottom finding the lobster and then getting the lobster out, and you can just measure right on the spot. So anyways, that's the gear. If you're new to this, don't go overboard. Don't go get the most expensive mask, but don't get the cheapest one. Go reasonable. All right, so we've got the food up here, and we got Joe. He's got his knife sharpened, and he's going to show us how he is preparing the tails. So let's see what we got.
Yeah, so we're going to do it. I like doing the scissors work. They work great.
Yeah.
And it's really easy. You don't have to put no pressure on the meat.
So you just sneak that between the meat and the shell.
Yeah. And then finish it off with a knife. I like to just throw them on the grill, just like this.
Okay.
Some people like to blanch them, boil them first, and then throw them on the grill. I don't think it makes no difference.
Okay. All right, so he's gonna finish that, and then we got the steaks and the lobster, and we're gonna throw it on the grill. And,
Coals are getting hot.
Coals are getting hot. Well, Joey nailed it. It looks great. I'm sure it's going to taste great. And it's nothing better than bringing fresh caught food home from the ocean and cooking it up that same day. I love it. But from all the average Joes here to you, thanks for watching. I hope this inspired you to get out there and see what you can do to make it happen. I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Cheers. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe to see more. And as always, thanks for watching.